Okay, so welcome to the perfect Facebook ad headline. And what we're going to do now is create the headline for your Facebook ad. But before we do, I just want to flick over to the iPad and just show you the structure of a Facebook ad so we're all on the same page. So if you look at the iPad here, you'll see that this is a framework which we're not going through now, but look at the center of the page and you'll see a Facebook ad. And basically, I just want to highlight a few things here. Number one, at the top, it's got the name of your page, sales driven. It has this little sponsored text here, which basically tells the user that someone's paid to show the ad, this post to them. I don't think it's a big problem. Most people don't really care. Over here is the text, the main text, and this is where you write most of your copy to convince someone to actually click on the ad. Here is the image, and the image is the most important part. And then down here is the actual title or the headline. And that's what we're going to be working on right now. Under the headline is a little bit of text here, which you can use just to motivate someone just after they read the headline. And then, of course, there's a Learn More button and your URL over there. So if we go back to the keynote presentation. So why does this matter? Well, the first reason is because this is how you convince the prospect to click. The headline and the Facebook ad is what really convinces them. If you see that there's three parts to an ad that's really important, the most important part is the image. That's what gets them to stop. The second part is the headline. That's what they read to say, well, am I really interested? And the third part is the copy. If they are interested, they may or may not read the copy, or they'll just click the link. So the headline is really important because a lot of people read the headline and not the copy. So you really have to nail that headline. So there's a great quote by Wyatt Woodsmall that I love, and you'll probably hear me say it quite a few times during this course. And it says, when you can articulate someone's problem better than they can, they automatically and unconsciously credit you with having the solution. And this is what we're trying to do with our ads. When it comes to the image, the headline, and the actual copy, you want to articulate someone's problem in that headline better than they can. You want to describe the problem better than they describe it to themselves internally. Because when you do, they automatically and unconsciously say, well, that company may have the solution. It's amazing when, it's happened in my life many times, when I hear someone describe a problem and I think, wow, they must have the answer because they understand the problem. And that's what we're trying to do. That's basically what a successful Facebook ad does and a successful headline. It articulates a problem better than the prospect can articulate it, describes it better than they can describe it. So then when they do read it, they automatically and unconsciously say, well, this company must have the solution. Let's go to the framework. And if you look here, it's called the perfect Facebook ad headline. And really, there's 6 elements to writing a great headline. And so there's many frameworks to write headlines. This is the one I think is the most important. Now, if your business doesn't quite fit this mold, that's fine. Bring it up in the coaching and we'll write it live on the coaching. But I find this is the most useful framework for the majority of businesses. So let's go through it. So there's 6 different points. There's the trigger, the numbered points, promise, the adjective, the time frame, and the objection. And each headline should have either all of these components or some of these components. You don't have to have all of them to have a great headline, but you want to definitely have a combination, 3 or 4 of them. Let's see if we can have all of them in the headline I'm about to produce. So I think we'll still use the business of a preschool who's targeting mothers with children aged between 3 and 5. Who are really interested in education. So how do we write this headline for the Facebook ad? Well, let's have a go. So let's read it. Number 1, trigger. This is where the ad begins. You want to draw your prospect in right from the trigger. So remember this one's going to be about how to get your child to read before kindergarten. So kindergarten in Australia is the first year of school. So how to get your child to read before kindergarten without any fights or tantrums, okay? So the word I would use here is probably discover. So I could say how to get your child to read, or revealed. but I'm going to use discover. So discover. Now, numbered points. This is where you make a specific claim. Being specific with a number allows you to draw the prospect in closer as they are drawn to specificity. So I'm going to teach maybe five ways in this piece of content. We're going to have an ebook maybe, and it's going to have 5 ways to teach your child to read. So it'll be discover the 5 ways. Okay. And the promise, you want to have a specific outcome that your market will respond to. It needs to be something they really want. So for us, we've already said it, to get your child to read. Okay. And number 4, the adjective supports the notion of what you will have to offer, adds an extra element to the headline to make it stronger, fuels up the topic. So, this is really trying to make it sound better. So it could be, I would put it probably here, this adjective. So discover the 5, and I would say easy. Easy ways to get your child to read. So I would use the word easy here because, mothers don't want complicated things. Their lives are already complicated as they are. They need easy ways to accomplish goals. And then number 5, the time frame. Keeping the headline to a specific time frame so people have a result outcome date. This makes the promise seem like it's within arm's grasp. So I would say here, before they start kindergarten. And in Australia, kindergarten is the first year of school. And then the objection. If they do not believe they can achieve the promise, the objection makes sure they know they can, makes every single person a potential lead. Okay. So this one we're going to say, so the objection is like some children don't want to read. And so the objection here is even if your child hates reading. Okay. So, and there's lots you can put here. Okay, so let's go through it. Discover the 5 easy ways to get your child to read before they start kindergarten, even if your child hates reading. And you can, make it a bit better than that. Some of the wording there is not quite right. You want to massage it a bit, but that's one. But remember, you want to write probably 10 of these. Okay, so even if they hate reading, without fights. So you just make variation upon variation upon variation, and then you show it to people and bring it to the coaching session. Show it, and we'll see what we think. And but one thing I want to stress with any title and any copy, you want to rewrite it and rewrite it. You want to do your first attempt is not going to be your best. Your 10th or 20th is going to be better. So it's a really big tip. You need to write multiple. If you're going to be putting $10 a day or $20 a day or $100 a day against an ad title or an ad, you need to make sure that it's the best one that you've come up with. So your homework is to take the perfect Facebook ad headline framework and write your first headline and then do it 20 more times and come up with 10 or 20 different headlines and then move on to the next module.